Deep within the Whispering Woods lived a magical city called Mouse City. It was a beautiful place where tiny houses were made of cheese, cookies, and fruits. The streets were paved with crumbs, and the river flowed with fresh milk. Every day was filled with fun and laughter, and every night ended with a magical lullaby from the singing bell tower. One day, a dark shadow fell over Mouse City. When the mice looked up, they saw that the sun had been replaced by a huge black cloud. A strong wind began to blow, shaking the trees and rattling the windows. "Oh dear," squeaked Mamma Mouse. "This doesn't look good. We should go inside." So all the mice scurried home and closed their doors. But when the mice peeked out the next morning, they gasped in horror. All the cheese in the cheese wall had vanished. The river of milk was dry, and the bell tower was silent. "What's happening?" cried a little mouse. "Who could have done such a thing?" Just then, an old wise owl flew by. "What's all this commotion?" he asked. When the mice told him what had happened, the owl shook his head sadly. "It's the work of the Shadow Weaver," he said. "She's a wicked witch who sucks the joy out of everything. She's taken the cheese, dried up our river, and silenced the bell tower. Without its song, Mouse City will turn into a shadow realm, and we'll all become shadows." The mice were terrified. They huddled together, shivering. "We have to do something," squeaked a brave little mouse named Max. "But what? How can we stop her?" "You can," said the owl. "You have the heart of a hero and the courage to save us all. You must find the Sunstone, a magical gem that can bring back the light and defeat the Shadow Weaver." Max felt a surge of excitement. He had always dreamed of being Mouse City's protector. This was his chance to prove himself. But there was one problem. "I don't know where to start looking," he admitted. "The Sunstone is a very rare gem," said the owl. "Only a pure heart and a sharp mind can find it. You need help, Max. You need the smartest mouse in Mouse City, the funniest mouse in Mouse City, and the kindest mouse in Mouse City." "I know just who you're looking for," said the owl. And with that, he led Max to 3 more mice. The first was Lily, a clever mouse with a thirst for knowledge. She loved reading books and solving puzzles. Next was Tom, a funny mouse who could make anyone laugh with his silly jokes and playful tricks. And finally, there was Bella, a baker mouse known for her delicious treats and her big heart. "I choose you because you are the best at what you do," explained the owl. "Together, you will be unstoppable." So the 4 young mice set off on their quest to find the Sunstone. Their journey took them through the Whispering Woods, across the dried-up riverbed, and up the side of Mount Crumbly. Along the way, they faced many dangers. They had to dodge grumpy badgers, outsmart sneaky foxes, and cross a rickety bridge over a chasm. But through it all, they helped each other. Lily used her smarts to solve puzzles and find secret passages. Tom used his humor to cheer everyone up when they were feeling down. And Bella used her kindness to befriend some of the animals they met, like Sammy, the squirrel, and Freddie, the field mouse. At last, they reached the top of Mount Crumbly, where the air was thin and the wind was cold. "Where is the Sunstone?" asked Max, shivering. "It's in the Cave of Lost Light," said a voice. They all jumped. In front of them stood a majestic white rabbit, wearing a blue jacket and a red scarf. "Are you the guardian of the cave?" asked Lily. "That's right," the rabbit replied. "But before you can enter, you must answer my riddle." "What has an eye but cannot see?" Max thought hard. "Is it a needle?" he asked. The rabbit shook his head. "Very good, Max," said Lily. "How about a painting?" The rabbit nodded. "Correct. A painting has an eye but cannot see." The rabbit bowed. "You may now enter the cave," he said. Inside, the walls were dark and damp, and the floor was covered in sharp rocks. Where is the sunstone? Asked Tom, his voice echoing. Suddenly, a green glowing light appeared ahead. They all gasped. As they got closer, they saw that it was coming from a small hole in the wall. I found it, whispered Bella, reaching inside and pulling out a beautiful sun-shaped gem. It was warm to the touch, and as soon as she held it, the cave began to brighten. The moment the sunstone left the cave, the shadow weaver's spell was broken. The cheese wall shimmered, the river flowed once again, and the bell tower began to sing its joyful song. All the mice cheered. They paraded through the streets with the sunstone held high. There were games and music and dancing, and everyone celebrated with a big feast. Some time later, when Max was resting after the long day, he heard a knock at his door. He opened it to find Lily, Tom, and Bella. "Thank you for helping me save Mouse City," he said. "We couldn't have done it without you, Max," said Lily. "You were so brave." "Yeah," said Tom. "You really stepped up when we needed you." "And besides," added Bella with a smile, "saving Mouse City meant we could have a really good party." They all laughed. Then Max had an idea. "Let's go see the others," he said. "We should thank them too." So they all went to the wise owl, who was sitting on his branch, looking very pleased. "You did well, young hero," he said to Max. "You brought back the light to Mouse City and saved us all." Next, they visited the guardian of the cave, who was polishing his shoes. "You solved my riddle and found the sunstone," he said. "I knew you would. You have a bright future ahead of you, Max." As the sun set over Mouse City, painting the sky with beautiful colors, Max and his friends walked home together. They were tired, but happy. They had faced many challenges, but they had also learned the importance of friendship, bravery, and kindness. And they knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would always be ready to face them together. And so life in Mouse City returned to normal. The mice went back to their daily routines, but they were all changed by their experience. They were kinder to each other, more appreciative of the beauty around them, and braver in the face of danger. Max continued to train and prepare, knowing that one day he might need to use his powers again. But for now, he was content to live in peace. One day, while playing with Tom and Bella, Max stumbled upon a tiny ladybug struggling to fly. Instead of laughing, he carefully picked it up and placed it on a leaf. "Thank you," squeaked the ladybug. "You have a kind heart, Max." "Well," said Max, blushing, "it's not every day you find a ladybug that can talk." "Actually," said a deep voice, "it happens every day. It just depends on whether you're kind enough to notice." Max and his friends turned around to see wise old Turtle approaching them. "You're kind, Max," the turtle continued, "but true bravery isn't just physical strength. Sometimes it takes courage to stand up for what's right even when others laugh or disagree. That's when you'll be a true hero." Max pondered the turtle's words. He knew that being brave wasn't just about fighting bad guys. It was also about doing the right thing. But how could he practice this kind of bravery? Suddenly, he had an idea. He could help the other animals in Mouse City who were too scared to leave their homes. From that day on, Max and his friends spent their days cheering up the scared animals and helping them overcome their fears. Together, they discovered that true bravery wasn't about being strong or powerful, but about having the courage to face your fears and do what's right.